Hi, Cancer. Sorry that this is not a pretty setup. I'm doing my best. This is going to be your post-quarantine lockdown reading for Cancers. It's not a timeless reading. This is not a timeless reading because depending on where you live, the lockdown should be ending in the next month or 2 months, right? Today is April 22nd. So within the next few weeks, we're going to be experiencing, or Cancers are going to be experiencing, these energies. I should have ironed this or something. Okay. So let's begin by saying, this is not a timeless reading. This is going to be your reading for your energy currently, and then as you're coming out of isolation, what it looks like. What does your summer look like? Money and love. So, just trying to tap into the energies here for Cancer. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram. I hardly ever do YouTube readings anymore, but the last time I attempted it, my energies were just off, and so I want to try it again this time. I just did Taurus and Gemini. Those worked out okay. What's coming through? So we're talking about current energy as you're in lockdown right now, or what life is like right now in terms of money. I'm not getting money or love specifically, but I'll do both. We'll do money first. What's a Cancer energy? Oh, I just couldn't even speak just now. Cancer energy now and then heading out of lockdown, heading out of quarantine and into what normal life might look like. I just saw the Queen of Cups jump out, by the way. So I think that if you are working right now, you're very appreciative of it, and you're actually have more gratitude about your job right now, for obvious reasons, but for other reasons too. Wheel of Fortune. So there has been a change in income, in money, in the status of essential items, right? Valuable items in the home front, I think, for a lot of Cancers. I think that, again, when I saw the Queen of Cups jump out, there is a sense of extended gratitude for what you do have, and I think that goes across the board for a number of reasons. Wheel of Fortune says it's only going to get kind of better. I think a lot of Cancers are one of the lucky ones. So even if you're, sorry, I have to take a drink. So even if the Cancers out there are like, well, actually, no bitch, I lost my job, or I got furloughed, or whatever the case is, you're still finding yourself in a very lucky position, whatever that means. Let's keep going. Currently, and that's the current energy in isolation right now for a lot of Cancers. What does this mean, though? You're going to have a lot of communication. There is some hyped up conversations about this money situation, about where to put the funds, how to use the funds, what's actually essential, what's not essential, budgetary restraints or concerns. But the lines of communication are not just open, they're flooded. Something about this is like hyped up energy, talkative. Let's keep going. Because there's someone who's almost like blaringly concerned, and it's driving you fucking insane, is what I'm getting with this Knight of Swords energy here. Let's keep going. What is this for their money, though? There is a fire energy next to you. This is someone who has an authority. This might be the person who actually is blasting your ear holes with their fucking complaints and concerns and their suggestion box energy. And it has to do with your money. It has to do with that. It will change very soon because this is only, I think, strictly because of lockdown. But there is someone who is, and I don't think it's mean. I think it's just like a consistent hissing is what I'm getting. I don't know why I'm saying that, but a consistent hissing. Like a fuse needs to be fucking, you need to put electrical black tape over a fuse to just shut the fuck up the hissing. It's like and it has to do with money. It has to do with, financial concerns, issues. But that's only for the lockdown energy. So let's see what happens once lockdown is lifted in terms of money. How are you guys living? How are you guys feeling? Cancer energy. How are the Cancers going to be after this is lifted? What's the energy for money? See, I don't see anything negative, by the way. I don't see anything negative. I just see this like heightened sense of communication in terms of this. Okay, let's see what happens after. Cancer energy's after. I got 2 cards that popped out. I don't like them. So we've got the 5 of Cups in reverse. We've got the 10. So things get good after a lockdown, but there is a sense of regret. There is a sense of disappointment and regret. And it is going to be a burden that you need to release. I almost feel like survivor's guilt here. And I feel like there's a 10 of Wands energy that needs to be released. There's survivor's guilt. I think that it's like, turn around, da-da-da-da-da. And I think that there's like, because I say that because of the 5 of Cups. So you need to turn around literally. You need to, if someone is blasting you with these concerns, you need to just literally turn your back and say, it'll be okay. And then just keep it moving. 10 of Wands, there is a sense of burden there that needs to be released. So someone needs to be acquiesced in terms of communication. So if you need to explain yourself when it comes to budget or what you deem to be essential or whatever needs of the household after lockdown, you are going to be in a position to where you can say, hey, do you see? Here are the receipts. Hey, do you see? Here are the facts. I don't think it's a negative thing. I think that you're taking on a lot, Cancer. You're taking on a lot. It's all on your shoulders. And so what you don't need is these, the Knight of Swords hissing. Because there is a lot of burden on your shoulders that you get to release. The 10 of Wands after lockdown, you get to release that. So after lockdown, you can say, hey, guess what? I'm not doing XYZ anymore because lockdown's over. You get to say that. So you're taking it on right now during lockdown. After lockdown's over, you get to say, so sometime in, I would say end of May, you get to just say, hey, that's not me anymore. That's not me, bro. That's you. That's your job now. Someone could be rejecting these new responsibilities after lockdown. Brand new start. After lockdown, it's a whole new game. So, okay, the thing is, when lockdown happened for a lot of you guys in terms of your financial situation, obviously new rules had to come into play. New strategy. We were like, I don't know why I say we, but we as a community, we have all been like, okay, we need to decide how we're going to run shit while we're going through this. Now that it's over, we can't go back to how we did before, and we can't go back to how we did it in isolation. We need a new game plan. So a brand new strategy on how we're working these carpool things, the work thing, the hours, the flexibility, the kids, all this shit needs to be readjusted, and we need to have a brand new setup moving forward, because you can't go back to how it was before. You just can't. So that's it for your money. But this is all affecting your money and your day-to-day. Let's go into love. If you're a Cancer and you're like, okay, I've been on lockdown mode. Let's talk about LOVE. What does that look like for Cancers? What does love look like? And I'm starting here too with the Fool card energy. This is where my eyeballs are. Fool card energy starting brand new. Could have already started something in April, speaking long distance to somebody. Some of you guys are already talking to an Aries. What's the love story for Cancers after a lockdown? Let's just do it. Let's just do it with these three. Some of you guys are just, if you're single and looking for love, a lot of you guys enjoyed your isolation to some extent. And I think a lot of you guys enjoyed the fact that you were so self-sufficient and independent. And so you made your own happiness. You made your own structure. You had your own schedule. You had your own thing. You had an opportunity, like let's say you were kind of seeing someone, you had an opportunity to be by yourself and make a decision. There's been conflict because I think somebody wanted to see you, wanted to be around you, and you were like, I don't think we can do that, or I'm not into it right now because we're supposed to be on lockdown, whatever the case is for some of you guys. Either way you slice it, however you played it during isolation, by the time you come out, you are feeling far more independent, far more self-sufficient, and happy. You realized, I think, in isolation, a lot of you Cancers were like, hey, turns out, I'm pretty happy without you, person. And that could pass. But because of that, there's been some conflict because you haven't exactly been, chomping at the bit to get this person, to give you attention, or this person has been like, why don't you miss me? Why don't you miss me? And you're like, well, I do. It's just that I'm happy doing this. And so because of that, there is a tendency to be a little withholding of your energy because you've found your own structure and you found your own, I don't know. So there's a brand new start. If you're looking for love, when you come out of lockdown, and I'm noticing this with other people too, when you come out of lockdown, you're going to be feeling like you did all right by yourself. And that's not to say that you want to be single. That's to say that this other person you have been dealing with possibly they didn't really take away from your energy or your happiness or your joy in separation. And so now you're like, hey, we can start again, but now this person's got to really show you that they're worthy of you giving up your independence for. So there's a conflict there with that. Someone's withholding something. Maybe, and also someone's like, hey, we've gone so far without paying a gym membership. We've been working out at home. Let's just keep working out at home. Let's not pay for a gym. That's silly. There's that kind of energy too. I think that kind of spills into the relationship. You do, well, the other thing too is you do want a home. You do want to have a shared domestic experience with someone. And maybe a lot of you guys also, the flip side of this is some of you guys are like, all right, look, we did all that. We didn't kill each other. Let's just get married. Let's move in together because we spent so much time being interdependent and also missing each other and also just experiencing this whole thing that now... Yeah, there's an earth sign involved also. You're ready. A lot of you guys are also ready for that domestic bliss. When you come out of this, you're looking for it. You're here for it. You don't want to date. You're like, hey, I don't want to date. I either want to be single or get married. Like there's no in between is the energy I'm getting. There's disappointment. So, there's two storylines coming up, you guys. One is some of you guys are straight up saying, I want to get married. I don't want to fuck around. And the other storyline is some of you guys are like, hey, that time apart did actually open up my eyes. And I think it's time for us to stay apart. So there's a conflict there. And then the other half of you guys are like, hey, let's stop messing around. Let's get married. Let's do this, or let's move in because I've spent this time, making adjustments to the home, preparing it for you. And I know you have too. And I'm very concerned that, we're not going to have this opportunity to be together in that way if we don't move in. If that makes sense. I don't know. Let's see. Let's keep it moving. Cancer energy for love. What's coming through? Big shakeup. So it's hey, the bottom line, Cancer, is when you come out of lockdown, it's make or break. This lockdown experience for a lot of you Cancers, this is a make or break situation. You're either going to come together and move in. And I'm not actually necessarily saying marriage. I'm saying moving in, domestic energy with the Queen of Pentacles. I'm saying some of you guys took the time to prepare a home for yourself, inviting someone to come into the home. That person's going to say yes or no. It's make or break. The other half of you, I feel like you are in a position where you're like, look, I spent all this time alone. You didn't really show me shit while I was alone, so I'm going to stay alone. So when we come out of the lockdown, you do your thing, I'm doing my thing. It's brand new energy. It's tower energy. There's a shake up that happens in relationships. You're either stronger together or better apart. Somebody wants to give you, at the very least, you guys have to have this conversation in person. And that's part of this whole lockdown experience. So when it's over, it's time for you guys to say, let's meet up for coffee. Let's meet up for this and that. Let's have this conversation. Because it sucks, because as much as you guys, I think, have these conversations where you tease it, you tease the idea of moving in, you tease the idea of breaking up. These are these weird subliminal sort of things that you say and do to each other via FaceTime or whatever you're doing. Or you're kind of in a position also where you're maybe quarantining with this person and you're like, damn, I don't know, but I can't kick him out now. I can't kick him out now. We're in quarantine. Someone might have lost their job. That's affecting everything. That's affecting the whole relationship, because then you're just like, oh my God, you're pulling out with that Queen of Pentacles energy where you're like, I can't, put this person out on the streets. Fuck, how am I going to break up with them? There's that kind of energy. Make or break after lockdown, you guys. All right, that's it for Cancer love energy. It's not the most specific. It's very, very general. But at least you have an idea of what you can expect during the exit transition out of lockdown into the real world as we perceive it. Let's see if there's anything else I'm getting up from these cards. 1 second. Majority of you guys have found your groove in isolation. You have found a new routine, a new pattern in love and money, and you like it. That's the thing that's kind of sticking out to me most of all. You are tending to like how you have rediscovered your routines, and it's going to change. Bottom line is Cancers don't like change, right? So when lockdown is over, you have to readjust, and that causes a shakeup. And that's something that's like, oh, fuck. I gotta readjust now. And you just kind of do. Anything you do have to change up, make changes with, you do have to do it in person. So do not rely on Zoom or FaceTime strategies to clarify any situations after lockdown is over. You have to put your shoes on and go outside and meet somebody and have that conversation in person, whatever that is. All right? Whether it's you apologizing, someone else apologizing, get it in person. Also get it in writing. I see that too. Whatever that means. Good luck to you guys. Follow me on Instagram. I love you. Bye.